The Eyes of My Mother is a 2016 horror movie about a woman called Francisca and her horrific attempts to escape loneliness, leading to kidnapping, surgical alterations on her victims, and eventually murder. At a very young age, Francisco's mom, an eye surgeon, would teach her little things about the human body. Although we don't see much of it, it's shown early on that she demonstrates these little surgical teachings on the animals on their farm. She ends up getting murdered by a mysterious man, who then ends up getting chained in that barn by her father. Francisco forms this weird relationship with the man, as if wanting him to completely depend on her, which I can only get from their dialogue. You're gonna kill me, right? Why would I kill you? You're my only friend. I'm gonna take care of you. She removes his eyes and vocal cords and feeds him every day for years and years. Although she says she killed her father later on in the movie, it was never really shown. But her father did die, and it's only at this point that you notice the deep loneliness she's in and she cries about wanting her father back. She does attempt to form a relationship but winds up scaring the other person away with the things she says. She's been isolated her entire life. Of course, she was a little weird. It seemed like she couldn't bear it anymore and ended up bringing the man who murdered her mother into the house and slept with him. He tries to escape, but she catches on to him and murders him. She's again, once more, utterly alone.
Eu vou estar sozinha, mãe. Ajuda.
Seeking to find someone, anyone to be with, she gets a ride from this woman and her baby, and ends up taking the baby as her own and kidnapping the mother. Just like the first man, she removes her eyes and vocal cords and keeps her chained in the barn. She raises the baby as her own, and as any child at some point, he does get curious. The woman was still in the barn. She was still chained and still getting fed by Francisco. The child inevitably ends up checking the barn and eventually unlocking the woman's chains. She walks out and is discovered in the middle of nowhere on the street by a truck driver. Shortly after, the police show up to Francisco's house. Wanting to not be left alone anymore, she clings to her son with a knife to protect herself, which leads to her getting shot by the police. This video is my way of learning how to tell a story by breaking down the story structures in the stories I watch or read. I'm a manga artist with the dumb dream of wanting to make the greatest story ever told one day, and to achieve that, I must learn how to tell a story by studying other stories.